So hopefully you can't hear the fan behind the camera, but I'm in Southern California, which everybody knows we're going through a bit of a heat wave right now, and yes, I know other places are hot too, are hotter, but we're hot too, so I'm gonna have the fan on, because we don't have AC in our house. So our fans are the only thing keeping us alive. So in today's video, I actually got this idea from my previous video and what I was talking about. You can't tell by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about when people try to be innovative with video games. And I'm talking either with like a new IP or old IP, either or, and like how all that kind of stuff works. So first, let us talk about taking an IP and trying to do something new with it. Now, I know I just talked about Super Mario Sunshine in the last video, but I figure it's still pretty relevant and it's an easy enough one for people to pick up. Now, everyone's used to, it's more of a traditional platformer. You jump, you got jumping. It started out as side-scrolling like a lot of the, obviously old video games did, and then you get to the 3D where you started to do more stuff. But Mario pretty much stayed the same throughout the games, except for like Mario RPG, which I've never played it, but I've heard people really do like it, but it kind of seems like it maybe didn't do as well or something, because I feel like there were not really many RPGs until you have the Mario and Luigi series. So I kind of feel like that was the first instance of them trying to do something different. And I feel like what a lot of people do when they take an old IP and they try to add something new, because it's like, okay, we're kind of getting the same game, so let's try something new, let's throw something different in there and we'll see if it works. And then what ends up happening, I feel like a lot of the times, is people just get mad because it's like, oh, you changed this old thing, I don't like it, this has been consistent, even though all the time they're asking for something new. And they try to bring like, okay, we know you like this old character, these old video games, and I get you want base things to be the same, but I don't understand why things like adding FLUDD as such a huge mechanic in Super Mario Sunshine is like then super polarizing, because literally everyone who I've seen has any kind of problem with the game, it's mostly because of FLUDD. It's because of that new mechanic thing. And they're like, well, the only parts I like are the missions where you're in the secret level and you don't have it. And it's like, okay, but then you complain kind of because they keep releasing Mario games and they just keep dredging that up. Or like, even when they're releasing Pokemon games all the time, and I see, there'll be some people, oh, they need to stop with that, But when they tried something new, you didn't like Super Mario Sunshine, you're all complaining about it with Pokemon. When they tried something kind of different and out there, anyone remember Pokemon Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness? Freaking loved those games, but they did not sell that well. Why? Because it was like a different thing and people just didn't want it. Even though they'll sit there and complain about a main series game coming out all the time, well, a lot of the times if they try to do something new, you end up not liking it just because it's something new with something you're familiar with, and you get mad that they changed it. And it's like, well, what do you want? And I understand not everybody's like that, and obviously there are things that do kind of work. I mean, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, it's not the most popular, like the main series definitely more popular, but it's popular enough that it's kept going for a while. But again, things like Colosseum, XD Gale of Darkness, not exactly popular. I would love another game of those or an update on them or something, because those were really cool and fun. So now we're going to talk about when people try something completely new for a video game in general. So what I'm talking here is like, okay, you're taking something and it's not like a known IP, it's not like Zelda or Mario or Call of Duty or, any game series that's really well known like that. I'm talking when you take completely new idea and you try to make very innovative and different and interesting gameplay with it. Whether I feel like this is mostly done with indie developers, because I feel like in this, so people are more willing to try something that looks different from an indie developer and when it's a new game, but at the same time too, I feel like those can get kind of gimmicky in the sense that it's the only thing the creator of the game is focusing on, and they don't really focus on making maybe much of an engaging like story or characters or anything, and they just hope this one gimmick pushes it through. And of course that's not always the case, and there are even some cases where, and of course it's okay, you know, that sometimes it's like they really did try and sometimes it's like it just kind of didn't work. But you know, then at the same time too, I feel like people think that, oh, just because the game is different it should automatically be praised, when not necessarily. It's like, okay, well, I do appreciate you reaching outside of the box, trying something new and different. That doesn't automatically mean your game is the best game, gonna be game of the year or anything like that either. Like, you have to understand that sometimes, you know, the game's just not gonna be good, regardless of whether you're trying something new or not. And I feel like people, because you get that fine line where it's like people will think, oh, well, they don't like it just because it's something new, so then they stick with these old tried and true. Like when, you know, we had a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's clones, and then we had a bunch of PT clones, and people, like, just don't want to try anything new or be creative. They just want to stick to this formula that they saw work once, and then you can get a few gems out of there that are good, but then you get oversaturated because people think, instead of, you know, trying to take a risk and be creative, they just kind of end up doing a formula that already worked. And it's like, I feel like people need to understand, or should be more willing, like, go ahead and push yourself. Like, the market should be more creative. I mean, with things like, okay, so you have a studio like Atlus, which they make Persona. Everybody knows Persona nowadays, you know, their great games always work. Well, Catherine, that was them just kind of taking risks, because Catherine is a very different game. And you know what? Atlus said, screw it, we don't care. We are going to make this game because we want to test out this engine for Persona, and we're just going to go crazy off the wall and do what we want. And they ended up making Persona, or Catherine, and it's a great game. I mean, they've released another edition. It's, you know, on the PS4 now. It's released to the Switch. Like, it ended up becoming a lot more popular than they thought it would. So, it's that sometimes you should just be willing to take the risk. So, now let's get to the takeaway from all of this. So, a couple of key points. I think, one, games should not automatically, even if it's an old IP, be instantly, you know, shunned and hated because they're trying something new. Two, I don't think people should be shying away from trying something new and creative just because they see a formula that works and they're scared to, like, step out of that zone. Be creative, be willing to put something new and interesting out there. For all you know, that could end up being your greatest idea ever. And three, just because a game does have something new and innovative, you don't feel necessary to instantly praise it and say it's the greatest thing ever and there are no flaws either, just to try and see new things in the market. Like, it's okay to be critical. It's okay to be critical of things and say, hey, like, I like this part of it, but I don't like all this from it or whatever. Like, criticism is good. We need to learn to start taking criticism and stop either A, being stuck in our old ways, or B, just trying to force new things to happen even if it's not good, if that makes any sense. So, anyways, that is gonna be all I have to say on this topic. Sorry videos have been getting uploaded so late, but maybe one day I'll get on the more right track schedule. I don't know, maybe actually having this baby will put me on more of a schedule, but right now I have no schedule. Stuff just happens when it happens. If you want to follow though and see what's kind of going on in my life and maybe get any updates on videos and whatnot, go ahead and follow my Twitter. It's in the description below. If you want to see my doggo, she's all over my Instagram. That's going to be in the description below as well. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. You don't have to, even if you did like it, but it just kind of helps. Let me know what y'all are enjoying. Go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments in below. Thoughts in the comments below. There we go. About this kind of topic and just any thoughts you have on it. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I upload every Monday and Friday. It kind of seems like so far it's going to be a really late Monday and Friday, but hey, it's Pacific Standard Time, okay? So it's up. It was up at like 11:40 on Friday. 23:40. 11:40 p.m. for anybody who does. So it was up on Friday. Can't say it wasn't uploaded on Friday. And I also upload a vlog just whenever I feel like it. But anyway, that is going to be it for today's video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!